ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोर्श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरोर्नवैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। जयतां सुरतौ पंगो मम मंदमतिर्गते मत्सर्वस्य पदाम्बोजो राधा मदन मोहनो श्रीदिव्यवृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमादः श्रीमद्रत्नागार सिंहासनस्थौ श्रीमद्राधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेवो प्रेष्ठाले सेव्यमानो स्मरामि। श्रीमान् रासरसारम्भे वंशे वटतः कर्षन्वेनो स्वनिर्गोपे गोपीनाथ श्रीस्तुनः। तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम स्वस्ति नो गोविन्दः स्वस्ति नो अच्युतानन्तो स्वस्ति नो वासुदेवो विष्णुददातो स्वस्ति नो नारायण नरो वै स्वस्ति न पद्मनाभः पुरुषोत्तमो ददातु स्वस्ति नो विश्वक्सेनो विश्वेश्वरः स्वस्ति नो ऋषिकेशो हरिददातु स्वस्ति नो वैनतेयो हरिः स्वस्ति न अंजनासुतो हनुर्भागवतो ददातु स्वस्ति स्वस्ति सुमंगलैकेशो महान् श्रीकृष्ण सच्चिदानन्दघन सर्वेश्वरेश्वरो ददातु। मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम मधुसूदन मंगलोऽयं ऋषिकेशो मंगलायतनो हरिः। So once again welcome to the new members. All of you be comfortably be seated with full concentration on Srimad Bhagavatam, and we'll have prayers. You also repeat after me. This is the standard prayer before starting Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam को आरंभ करने के पहले ये श्लोक हम ज़रूर पढ़ना चाहिए। आप सब मेरे साथ मैं पहले कहता हूँ, आप इसको दोहराइए। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। So with this prayers we are starting the beautiful Srimad Bhagavatam. These prayers are given in Srimad Bhagavatam itself, which shows that Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire. Srimad Bhagavatam एक कथा श्रवण करने के लिए, for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and in hearing this we should be successful in all our goals of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. To hear this Srimad Bhagavatam and to have success, to achieve success in our hearing, to achieve success in our goal, we should be praying and paying obeisances to Naranarayana, Narayana, Namaskritya, Naranchaiva Narottama. Then afterwards, Devi Saraswati Vyasa. Saraswati Mata ko bhi hum namaskar karna chahiye. Then afterwards, the compiler of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vyasadeva. So we should offer prayer to Srila Vyasadeva ji also, so that we will become successful in our endeavor to hear Srimad Bhagavatam and the goals that we are aiming to achieve from hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. At this point of time, we know very well the entire world is haunted and is covered by greatest crisis. And under this condition, what is the solution? Solutions people think are many, but as per our tradition, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, there is only one solution. So when Sonakad Rishi, they found that the Kali Yuga started. So this is story about 5,000 years before. 5,000 years before the Kali Yuga started, 5,000 years before. So Kali Yuga is supposed to run for 4,32,000 years. So when they found that the Kali Yuga started, they found that the Kali Yuga is going to have many difficulties, many calamities, many troubles. So they conceived an idea, they conceived a plan, they conceived a yajna which can run for 1,000 years. So because the Kali Yuga is going to last for 4,32,000 years, they felt that let us do for 1,000 years yajna. But when the yajna is being continued, they found that, or they started feeling that probably they may not really achieve the goal or the purpose for which they have started the yajna. That's why when they were contemplating this, that they are looking for the best solution, then the Sutta Goswami came and they started hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the authentic process which was practiced 5,000 years before the beginning of Kali Yuga. So we are also adopting this process of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, and we are trying to do in a special unique way that we will hear Srimad Bhagavatam in 100 stories form. It's called Srimad Bhagavata Katha Shatakam. It's called Srimad Bhagavata Katha Shatakam. Shatakam means a collection of 100. Collection of 100 is called Shatakam. Shataka or Shatakam in Sanskrit. So we are calling a collection of 100 stories, the entire 12 cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam. I am going to narrate in 100 wonderful, attractive, lucid stories, so that you will get attracted towards the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then you will start getting the best benefit of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. So here it is actually said in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the prayers whatever just said, Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So the Bhagavata should be studied all the time. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So Bhagavatam is essentially for the soul nourishment. So for example, we are saying Nityam Prasada Sevaya. So for nourishment of the body, we are taking food every day, maybe twice or thrice or 4 times. This is Nityam, we don't give any break. This is called Nityam Prasada Sevaya. This is for nourishment of the body. Okay, about the body, we have the mind. So for sake of mind pleasure also, Nityam Valgu Bhashana Sevaya, we want to speak very nicely with husband or wife or children, with everybody, and some entertainment, it's always going. So this enjoyment is always there. Nityam, this seva for the mind is also going. Then we have Nityam newspaper sevaya, Varta Patrika sevaya, that is also going. That is for what? That is for our intelligence. We want more and more information. But what about the soul? That is Nityam Bhagavata sevaya. So the whole idea is that how we get connected to Srimad Bhagavatam, so that as we take food every day without fail, we take Srimad Bhagavatam without fail, so that our soul is nourished perfectly. Presently, what's happening is this coronavirus has got spread everywhere. So everybody is saying wash, 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 wash. So everybody is saying wash, 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 wash. Good, very good. That is, by washing your hands, you are just throwing out the coronavirus away. It will not enter into you. So Srimad Bhagavatam is also saying same thing. Shunvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hrudyantasto hiya badrani vidhunoti suhusatam. Vidhunoti, the person who is hearing Krishna katha, Shunvatam swakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana hrudyantasto hi abhadrani. Abhadrani, there are so many abhadra, unwanted things in the heart. Unwanted things heart, they all get washed out by this. Vidhunote, the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he enters into our heart and he cleans up. He cleans up everything. So we should, as the people are repeatedly saying wash, 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 we should say that here, here, here. The moment you hear, here, here, then your heart becomes clean. The moment you become clear in your heart, you will have highest immunity in the body, because the Lord has appeared in your heart. That's why it's saying Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. This is very, very important. Actually, Srimad Bhagavatam, it is defined Srimad Bhagavatam as Lokamangalam. Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhir Lokamangalam. Lokamangalam. Srimad Bhagavatam is essentially for giving auspiciousness to the whole world. What is Mangalam? We should understand the question. What is Mangalam? When we say that we are now there is good auspicious. Mangalam means our body is completely healthy. All our surrounding people are also healthy. And our mind is very, very peaceful. Everybody's mind is very, very peaceful. And everybody is having good job. And everybody is engaged in job. Nobody is idle. And everybody's soul is activated, and everybody is thinking about good about others. And we are seeing that the rivers are flowing nicely, the rains are coming timely, and the kings are not plundering our money too much. So these are all called auspiciousness. So our body, when it's healthy, when mind is cool, peaceful, and our intelligence is stable, and our soul is very active. This is called auspiciousness. But presently, everything is opposite. At this point in time, everything is opposite. Our many thousands and lakhs of people, bodies are not healthy. And millions of people's mind is completely disturbed. Millions of people, mind is disturbed. And then coming to the intelligence, everybody is worried. And intelligence, and nobody is working. Many people are working at home, from home. Working from home means almost sleeping, nothing else. So they become idle, and people are worried of the jobs. So at this point of time, all the temples are also closed. So the soul activity is also done. So just imagine, this is called inauspiciousness, amangalam. So to remove this amangalam, we really have to go into the most auspicious, that is called Srimad Bhagavatam. So at this point of time, I have conceived an idea that I would be starting a website called Lokamangala Sri Bhagavatam. Lokamangala Sri Bhagavatam. I already conceived a thought that the Bhagavatam should be really given in at least 3 languages, that is English for the worldwide, Hindi for India, and Telugu for the Telugu speaking people. So in a year's time, this Lokamangala Bhagavatam will come into picture, so that at any point of time when you feel that I am threatened, so immediately you can take shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, or even if you are not able to hear, you could read, you can hear from the wonderful website. So these are my thoughts. Actually, our Krishna consciousness movement, is completely based on Srimad Bhagavatam. It is actually started and is based on Srimad Bhagavatam. You have to understand. Srila Prabhupada, when he was told by Guru Maharaj to preach the philosophy of Krishna consciousness all over the world, especially to the Western world, he started his efforts in 1944, but it took a perfect shape in 1960 when he started Srimad Bhagavatam. He felt that Srimad Bhagavatam is only the solution for entire humanity to get peace, to get situated in perfect consciousness, to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and energetic. So he planned for almost 60-volume Bhagavatam explanation. Because Bhagavatam is containing 12 cantos and 18,000 shlokas, then Srila Prabhupada, the ISKCON founder Acharya, he felt that he can explain the entire Bhagavatam in 60 volumes, 60. Because until that time, there was no commentary on Bhagavatam for every shloka. Every shloka should be having word-to-word meaning, and there should be some translation, and there should be purport. There is no such effort made, especially in the Western language, that is English. So Srila Prabhupada took the task and started in 1960. And when he published 3 volumes, taking almost 5 years. Then he went to America, and when he went to America, he printed a pamphlet with the title that India's message for peace and goodwill. You see, the Srimad Bhagavatam is the India's message for peace and goodwill. What is meant by goodwill? Peace everybody knows, but what is goodwill? Goodwill is nothing but compassion. Goodwill is nothing but compassion. So, entire world, when they are in trouble, Srimad Bhagavatam shows compassion and gives them the path. That's why Srila Prabhupada has printed the pamphlet as India's message for peace and goodwill. And till 1977, he has been continuously writing. And even on the, I want to show you one thing. So even on the, when he was about to leave this body, that he was on the deathbed. He was on deathbed. He was on the deathbed, and still he is trying to show. He was trying to speak on Bhagavatam. And you just see how even on the deathbed he is not taking food. He is not taking food. He is not taking food. He is not taking any water. He is not taking any juice. But he is taking the Srimad Bhagavatam. He wanted to really give the Bhagavatam because that is called compassion. That's called compassion. And finally, when he left, his disciples completed the remaining part. And when Srila Prabhupada left and they printed, he could complete only up to 10th canto, some portion, 13 chapters. There are 90 chapters in Srimad Bhagavatam. He has given purport to 13 chapters, and then he left it to his disciples. And after he passed away in 1980, Bhaktivedanta Book Trust has published a 30 volume series of Srimad Bhagavatam, and in 1995, 18-volume series of entire Srimad Bhagavatam came to picture. So it took almost 35 years. It took almost 35 years to Srimad Bhagavatam to come into picture. So it is the mission of Srila Prabhupada that the entire 18,000 slokas should come into picture, as he has given out of compassion for the whole world. He has given in English. So I am so fortunate, I am blessed that I could translate all the 18 volumes into Telugu language, for which I feel always, every minute, so much gratitude towards Srila Prabhupada, and also my Guru Maharaj, who has blessed me to take up these services, and also all the Vaishnavas who really blessed me to do that. So it is an action. It is an action of showing compassion towards people. So now you tell me, with this background, how much each and every devotee of ISKCON should be attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada, 1960 he started, and even on the deathbed he is translating Srimad. Vimurtatashe upageyamanad bhavo shadachotra mano viramad ka uttama shloka gunanuvadad viman. Like that he was just wonderfully narrating Srimad Bhagavatam. He was just talking about it. So each and every devotee of ISKCON should be so much connected to Srimad Bhagavatam, of studying. Thereby actually he is not he is doing greatest welfare activity for the whole humanity. This we have to understand that. And we are so much grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving this and also them. And Srimad Bhagavatam, what it gives actually, Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam Yasmin Paramahamsamekam Amalam Jnanam Param Kiyate Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkrutam Tashrudvan Supatan Vicharana Paro Bhaktya Vimuche Naraha. Srimad Bhagavatam, this is the wonderful shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam which is coming. This is the Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto. So in this, the last chapter is 13th chapter and 18th verse. 18th verse shows the Srimad Bhagavatam Purana. Srimad Bhagavatam is spotless. Today I am trying to spend some introduction. I will start our main stories of Srimad Bhagavatam Katha Shatakam, but you all should get warmed up how much important is Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why I am trying to take, because this information will be missing at different places, and what is importance of Bhagavatam will be missing from many speakers in the world who may be speaking Bhagavatam, but it may be missing. That's why I am trying to take little time so that the importance of Bhagavatam is understood by us. So it says that Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkrutam. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, first it gives Jnana. Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam. So first it gives Jnana, it gives knowledge about Supreme Personality of Godhead and also about the world. Then it gives Viraga, then it gives detachment, Tatra Jnana Viraga, then it gives Bhakti. Tatra Jnana Viraga Bhakti Sahitam Naishkarmyam Avishkrutam. It doesn't mean that when you read Bhagavatam you leave everything. No. Actually, you will be entering into Naishkarmya, the action which doesn't give you any attachment, doesn't give you any bondage. We will find that Dhruva Maharaj was ruling for thousands of years, and Prahlad Maharaj was ruling for thousands of years, and many devotees, they serve very nicely after attaining Krishna. This is called Naishkarmya. And that's why the Srimad Bhagavatam should be Tashunvan Supatan Vicharana Paro. So one should be hearing, Shunvan Supatan, then they should study, and then Vicharana Paro, they should contemplate. So we should hear, and we should study, and then we should contemplate. So when we do with these things with devotion, Bhaktya Vimuche Naraha, then the person will be liberated. And in his life, the entire auspiciousness come into picture. And not only in his life, and he will be spreading auspiciousness around the world. First he would save the people around him, he will save his Vamsha, he will save his Kula, he will save his family members, society, country, world. That is the power of Srimad Bhagavatam. So simply by taking Srimad Bhagavatam, you will not only save yourself, you will be really giving a great auspiciousness to the whole world. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam concludes with a wonderful sloka. All of you can repeat after me. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Shamanaha Tam Namami Harim Param. So with this, the Srimad Bhagavatam concludes that this Srimad Bhagavatam is basically destroys all sinful reactions, and by simply offering obeisance unto me, release all material sufferings. So Bhagavatam gives us a very, very good, full confidence that simply by paying obeisance to Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has been described, glorified in the entire Srimad Bhagavatam text, simply by paying obeisances to him, Tam Namami Harim Param, simply by saying to him, all miseries will go away. This is only a matter of experience. This has been already established. It's only a matter of experience. That's why with this wonderful beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, because for glorifying Srimad Bhagavatam there are many shlokas which every day I'll take little bit and move ahead. So now we will be moving to our story part, that is Srimad Bhagavata Katha Shatakam. So we will be, from today we will be discussing, enjoying and immersing ourselves in the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So when you immerse into nectar of Srimad, nobody wants to immerse in a ocean of misery. But if somebody is there, there is a nice ocean of pleasure, you want to jump and dive in that, so everybody will jump into that. Itik druksvalela bir ananda kunde swagosham nimajantam akhyapajantam. So it's nice. So Krishna says that, no, even if you don't want to come, I will take you and drown you into the ocean of happiness. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. So these stories will take us to the great shore of ocean of happiness, auspiciousness. We have to simply go there and dive into it and stay there and be happy. So we have decided that we will discuss in some 100 stories. It's called Bhagavata Katha Shatakam. We have divided into these stories into different. We will be discussing 13 stories of Lord incarnations. This message is already there, but I am trying to tell you once again. So 13 Lord's incarnations we will be discussing, and then 28 stories of Lord's pastimes, and we'll talk about 28 stories about Lord's devotees. Srimad Bhagavatam, you will find so many dedicated devotees. Mahabhagavata, you will find in Srimad Bhagavatam how their life is completely as per the Bhagavata Dharma. You will find. So we'll hear about 28 stories of devotees, and also we will hear the 6 Mahajanas who knows about Krishna thoroughly 100%. So we'll be hearing about 6 Mahajanas of Lord Sri Hari, and also 6 universal effects. What happened in the world. We'll be hearing 16 stories, and then we will hear last 9 stories as devotional service and importance of hearing. So in this way, the whole idea is that by hearing these beautiful 100 stories in next 30 days, you will get attached to Srimad Bhagavatam. The moment you are attached to Srimad Bhagavatam means you are actually surrounded. You are actually surrounded by auspiciousness. You are surrounded by wonderful energy. You are surrounded by Krishna Prem. You are surrounded by complete success. You are surrounded by complete protection. What else we want? What else we want? When even presidents of the countries are lifting their hands, we can't help you, take care of yourself. So what is left to us? We are left with the one which we have actually left ourselves. but Supreme Lord Krishna and all the Acharyas they have given us already that please take it, keep it with you. It will be for your protection because you are entering into Kali Yuga. You will be having more troubles, so take the Krishna stories. Like that they are mentioned. Now it is some on behalf of Srila Prabhupada and his representatives, I am speaking about these 30 days Srimad Bhagavatam Katha Shatakam. So today we will be discussing two stories, one about Lord's devotee and one Mahajana of Lord Krishna. So we are talking about two stories. First we will talk about Lord's devotee story, that is King Parikshit Maharaj. So first we will talk about King Parikshit Maharaj story for about half an hour time. I consider Sri Parikshit Maharaj as the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. He is hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. In fact, we all should be so grateful to Parikshit Maharaj. Because of him only, we are able to hear Srimad Bhagavatam today. So, I request all of you say once to Parikshit Maharaj, thank you very much. Everybody say, thank you very much to Parikshit Maharaj.
Thank you very much to Parikshit.
Generally, we express this thank you by saying Hari Bol 3 times. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So we are saying we should be expressing our gratitude because of his inquiry. Because of his inquiry only Srimad Bhagavatam has come into picture and he is the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why? Because Bhagavatam starts with Parikshit Maharaj and ends with Parikshit Maharaj. The hero is there from beginning to end and the whole story comes like that. And Parikshit Maharaj is the son of Uttara and Abhimanyu. The son of Uttara and Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu is son of Subhadra and Arjuna. This we know that. And Parikshit Maharaj is only a family member left over after all Pandavas left this planet. So in this way, he was only the one personality to protect the dharma, Sanatana dharma. He has been left over into that. So that's why Suta Goswami gives a very, very importance to Srimad Bhagavatam, Parikshit Maharaj. He says very clearly, Parikshitota Rajarshe Janma Karma Vilapanam Samstham Cha Pantaputranam Vakshe Krishna Kadhodayam. So Suta Goswami was very, very clear and very particular. He said that I want to tell you, my dear Shaunakadi Rishi, that I want to tell about his appearance and his actions and his departure. So Suta Goswami mentioned very clearly that he wants to ensure that the Parikshit Maharaj story is properly covered about his birth, about his activities and about his departure. That's a wonderful thing. So now coming to the actual point, when the Kurukshetra war was over, and the last person who fell down is Duryodhan. There was a fight between Duryodhan and Bhimsen, and because of the fight, Duryodhan fell down and is almost dead. He's not dead, but is almost dead. So he was lying down on the battlefield day and night, waiting for the death. So at that time, this Drishtadyumna, he felt that, okay, my master anyway is going to die, let me give him one happy news before he dies. So he is Ashwathama. So Ashwathama felt that Drishtadyumna is a commander-in-chief for the Pandavas. So Ashwathama, who is son of Dronacharya, he felt that let me give the some happy news. So what he did, he went to the Shibira of Pandavas, and at that time the 5 sons of Pandavas were sleeping in the midnight. So he did cut, he butchered all the 5 sons of Pandavas and took all the 5 heads to his master Duryodhan and tried to please him. You see, my dear master, now you can be very happy. Now I have killed all the sons of Pandavas. Now there is no chance, and they will be now crying and weeping because they have killed all your brothers, but now they also will weep and cry. But that heinous activity was not appreciated by even Duryodhan. But it was actually, he denied. He said that whatever you did, आपने जो किया ठीक नहीं किया, आपने जो किया वो ठीक नहीं किया, उन्हें बताया था. तो लेकिन but by that time Pandavas came to know, and Draupadi came to know that all her sons are dead, and she started crying so much. Then Arjuna took a vow that I will go immediately and catch the person, because they came to know already that Ashwatthama has killed. So she said, I will bring that dangerous fellow, and I'll bring him here, and I'll bring his head. I'll cut his head and bring him here, and Draupadi can stand on the head and take bath. That way he has given confidence. And Krishna and Arjun, they went on a chariot. When Ashwatthama saw that both Krishna and Arjun are coming like Yamaraj, he immediately applied the Brahmastra. When the Brahmastra was applied, Krishna and the Arjuna immediately said, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tameko Dahyamananam Apavargosi Samstrute. He said that, Krishna, hey Krishna, something great danger is coming onto me. Please protect me. Please come down to me. So that is when Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara. So for the devotees, who is the protector? For the devotees, Krishna is only the protector. But devotees are always in a helpless condition. They pray to Krishna. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara. Who can give complete abhaya, complete fearlessness? It's only Krishna who can give the fearlessness. That's why Arjuna mentioned. Then Krishna immediately told what actually happened. He said, it is the Brahmastra is applied by Ashwatthama. You also apply the Brahmastra and control both of them. In that way, Krishna advised him, and immediately Arjuna applied Brahmastra, and he controlled the Brahmastra applied by Ashwatthama, and immediately he caught hold of him like an animal. Like an animal, he had just tied him with all ropes and dragged him to the Shibira. Actually, the Yuddha is just completed, still people are only on the battlefield, they are in Shibiras. At that time, actually in the beginning, Krishna told Arjuna to kill this Ashwatthama immediately, don't hesitate. Without hesitation, kill this. He has just ordered. But by the time Arjuna caught hold of him, he felt that no, he cannot really kill. He cannot really kill. He felt that he cannot really kill because he is the son of his teacher. So finally he brought him to the Shibira, where he has handed over to Draupadi. Draupadi also felt that the Guru's son should not be killed. And Dharmaraj and Yudhishthira Maharaj and other Nakula Sahadeva also supported that. Only Bhima said, no, this person should be killed without any mercy, he should be killed. So there were 3 parties. So one is Krishna first told, please kill, and Arjuna felt that he should be spared, and Draupadi and other people also. Then Krishna finally told, my dear Arjun, take a good decision so that everybody is satisfied. I am satisfied, Draupadi is satisfied, all Pandavas satisfied. So devotees are always intelligent. So Arjuna has removed his hair. He has just shaved entire head, and he has removed the money also. So with that, the Ashwatthama's entire energy got lost. His teja got completely diminished, and they drive him out. In this way, the Krishna has protected Arjuna and other people, and when everything was normal, everything came back to normalcy, then Krishna decided to go back to Dwarka. जब सब कुछ ठीक हो गया, भगवान ने सोचा अभी मैं द्वारका चले जाऊंगा। तो जब भगवान ने ऐसे सोच के रथ में बैठने की रथ में ऐसे ही बैठ गया, इतने में उत्तरा, जो अभिमन्यु का पत्नी, वहां से भागती आ रही है और उन्हें कहने लगी, पाहि पाहि महायोगिन देव देव जगतपते नान्यम त्वदभयम पश्ये यत्र मृत्यु परस्परम। पाहि पाहि महायोगिन देव देव जगतपते, hey, you are the, my dear Krishna, you are the master of the whole universe, only you can protect, and you please protect me. Something dangerous thing is coming towards me, it is about to kill me. Even if it kills me, I have no problem. If it should not kill, it should not destroy my womb, because I have my child in my womb. So when Krishna was requested by Uttara, Krishna knows very well that Pandava Vamshankura, the only descendant who is going to be there is in the womb of Uttara. So Krishna immediately, he took the chakra. So all people felt that Krishna is going to apply chakra. They don't know where to apply. He was just holding chakra, but he did not do anything. He just hold the chakra, showing that I am giving protection. मैं सभी को इसे दिखाया था, लेकिन Krishna has entered into the womb of Uttara. He has just simply entered into Uttara. At that time, the child in the womb of Uttara was feeling the great heat of Brahmastra. It was so hot, he was just almost dead. So it was becoming so hard. At that time he saw a great personality like a lightning. He has entered with 4 hands, with a great club in his hand. He is trying to move that club around that child. Like that, as the sun comes, the entire fog get destroyed. Similarly, as the Supreme Personality who entered into the womb of Uttara, when he was rotating that club, the entire heat got dissipated and this boy was protected. And nobody knows what is happening inside. Only outside Krishna is being seen as holding some chakra. That's it. Oh, he's just standing like that, chakra. But he has done great thing inside and great darshan. He has given darshan to the great devotee Parikshit Maharaj, who is within the womb of Mother. In that way, the boy just started looking at that great personality who is protecting him, and within a few seconds the personality disappeared from his darshan. And then at the auspicious time, the boy got delivered, and since he was protected by Vishnu, his name came to be Vishnurata, and he is considered as Bhagavatottama because he is protected by Krishna. He has seen Krishna within the womb. When he was in the mother's womb also, he saw Krishna. And such devotees try hard, they do a lot of tapasya after taking birth. But here, the Parikshit Maharaj, our great hero of Srimad Bhagavatam, he got darshan of Krishna even within his mother's womb. At the auspicious time, he has delivered. He got delivered nicely, and Dhaumya Kripacharya conducted all the Jata Karmas, and Yudhishthira Maharaj has given great amount of money to Brahmanas and everything, and all the Brahmanas who came, they gave complete futuristic picture of this great boy. They mentioned that this person, he is going to behave exactly in a befitting manner to your dynasty, Kuru dynasty. And he will be known as Parikshit because he will be always looking for the person whom he has seen in the womb of mother before delivery. So because of that, he will be known as Parikshit, and he will become like a best devotee of Krishna, like Prahlad Maharaj. he'll be as great as Lord Ramachandra in speaking truth, and he'll be having greatest confidence in Dhairya. He'll be like Bali Maharaj. We can understand Bali Maharaj was so strong that he knows very well that the person who has come there is to destroy his whole opulence. Still he has, and he knows that he is going to be killed. Still he has given everything to that Vishnu in the form of Vamandev. That's why Bali Maharaj is known for his Dhairya. So all the people has given confidence that Parikshit Maharaj is going to become like Bali Maharaj in his. So in this way, after all his grandfathers left to the higher planetary systems, to the Goloka, Parikshit Maharaj has become the king for the entire universe, and he has married daughter of Uttara, and he got 4 sons like Janamejaya and great personalities. On the banks of Ganges, he has conducted beautifully, so opulently, 3 Ashwamedha Yajnas. And during the Ashwamedha Yajnas, so many demigods directly, Devi Devatas, they arrived to see that. During that period, even common man could see the Devi Devatas. That was the power of Parikshit Maharaj. So because of his power, even common people could see Indra, could see Chandra, could see Vayu. So many Devi Devatas, they could see that. So the things are happening nicely. However, at some point of time, Parikshit Maharaj felt that the Kali Yuga effect started entering into his kingdom. What is this? What are the effect of Kali Yuga? Kali Yuga effect is meat eating, intoxication, illicit sex, and gambling. So Satyam Daya Tapas Saucham. Satyam Daya Tapas Saucham. Satya, Daya, Tapa और सोचा. जब इसकी नाश होना शुरुआत हो जाते है, उसको हम कहते हैं कलयुग का आरंभ. He found that all these 4 things are slowly getting deteriorated. He found that Kali is slowly entering. He felt that now it is time that he will go into the entire kingdom and see that the Kali effect is destroyed and pushed out. Like that, now the whole world is covered with coronavirus. So with our Srimad Bhagavatam, all devotees taking up Bhagavatam study from today, are discussing the Bhagavatam today, this entire coronavirus will be pushed out slowly. We can send it to the sky, or we can push it into the earth somewhere. It will go out. So in that, Parikshit Maharaj felt that he should get on to the world and destroy the effects of Kali. So he was going wherever he went. He was traveling. Then everybody was glorifying so much. Everybody was glorifying so much about the greatness of their grandfathers and their devotion towards Krishna. सभी पांडवों का कितना भक्ति है, भगवान के प्रति इतना अनुरक्त है, और कृष्ण के प्रति इतना प्यार है. सभी लोग चर्चा करने लगे, and everybody was enacting the dramas of Krishna Leela, and they were enacting the dramas of all the Pancha Pandavas, how they were attached to Krishna. In this way, Parikshit Maharaj felt very happy, and while he was traveling, he saw an unusual scene. There he saw one bull with only one leg, and he saw one cow completely crying, and actually the cow was releasing urine and cow dung. Then they were discussing, but they are not ordinary bull and cow. Actually, the bull is nothing but Dharma Devata in the form of a bull, and the cow is nothing but the Dharani, the Mother Earth. And they were discussing about all the things, bad things happening, and they felt that it's all because of Krishna has left this planet. Krishna has left the planet because the moment Krishna, the Supreme Lord, leave the planet in auspiciousness. Just imagine, now all the temples are closed. Tirupati temple is closed. All the Puri Jagannath temple is closed, and all the ISKCON temples are closed. It is an indication of inauspiciousness. It's an inauspiciousness, and we have to pray. We have to pray to Supreme Lord that He will give darshan back as early as possible, so that the auspiciousness come back. So in that way they were discussing. Meanwhile, one Shudra, but in the form of a king, he came and started beating both cow and the bull. Then Parikshit Maharaj saw that, who is this fellow, wrong fellow, dirty fellow. So he immediately jumped there and caught hold of him and putting him under his control, and he was about to kill him. But that fellow was very tricky fellow, and immediately he surrendered to Parikshit Maharaj. And because Parikshit Maharaj is a dharmic king, he immediately released him. Okay, no problem. But you cannot stay in my kingdom. आप यहाँ से भाग जाओ, मेरे राज्य में नहीं रह सकते, क्योंकि यहाँ तो भगवान कृष्ण की सेवा करने की स्थान है। यहाँ भगवान की खुशी में, भगवान की प्रिय के लिए यज्ञ होने की जगह है, स्थान है। तो आप जैसे पतित शूद्र यहाँ नहीं रह सकते हैं। तो भगवान ने, परीक्षित महाराज has tried to drive him out. Then the Kalipurusha said that, how can I go out, because entire earth is your kingdom, where can I go? Then Parikshit Maharaj felt, okay, no problem. He has given 4 places. Wherever there is meat eating is there, wherever intoxication is there, wherever gambling is there, wherever the illicit sex is happening, so you please take those 4 places. He said that these places are very rare in your kingdom. What can you do? Then the Parikshit Maharaj, okay, you take one more. He has given him the gold, also gold, Swarna. So in this way, the Parikshit Maharaj given 5 places for Kali to stay and contained him. So similarly, by chanting our Harinama, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, we can contain this coronavirus and slowly we can drive it out. Mangala means, say presently we are all concerned about how this coronavirus will get vanished. But immediately after it goes, we will be entering into a different zone about the economic crisis. What about that? That's why the auspiciousness is nothing that only you are healthy. No, auspiciousness, you are healthy, you are peaceful, you are wealthy, you are prosperous. So by Srimad Bhagavatam hearing, I request all the devotees, take up Srimad Bhagavatam from today as a yajna for next 30 days. All of you please take and read at least 1 hour, 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is. In that way, actually you are bringing auspiciousness in the world. Thereby, not only will destroy the coronavirus and also will bring back the normalcy in the economic condition and the peacefulness of the people. So the Bhagavatam is the only solution. So it is my humble request to all of you. Actually, we have already started. We have started from the today we have entered into the 10th canto. I am reading all the 18,000 slokas along with the translations. Myself and my good wife Vishnujana Sevika Devidasi, we started Srimad Bhagavatam, reading of 18,000 slokas for last 10 days, and we have entered into the 10th canto today. We are very happy. And the moment we came to 10th canto, now I am speaking Bhagavatam to all of you. So it is a nice chain reaction happening. I am sure that by the time we complete this 30 days Srimad Bhagavatam auspicious hearing and by auspicious reading of all of you, entire corona from the world will get smashed out and it will go into oblivion, and entire auspiciousness will dawn back and will become very, very happy. That is my complete conviction, and it's only a matter of we experiencing. So that's what I wanted to say there. Then Parikshit Maharaj, in that way, he has re-established dharma in his kingdom, and one day he was just going to the forest for a purpose, because the kings have to go to forest for hunting to ensure that the cruel animals are under control. So when he went there, he became very thirsty and he entered into a hermitage, that is Shamika Muni. So the Shamika Muni was in trance, this complete meditation. वो पूरा Shamika Muni पूरा ध्यान में था. तो इसलिए जब राजा गए थे, राजा जाके पूछा, मुनिवर्य हम मुझे थोड़ा पानी दीजिए, मुझे बहुत प्यास हो रहा है. तो पूछा था, he asked, I am very thirsty, I am also hungry, please give me something. But the Shamika Muni was in trance, he could not hear anything. Then king became so much felt disturbed, he felt as if he has been neglected.
because of that thought, suddenly some sort of anger came into picture. Krodha bhavati sammoha, sammoha smriti vibrama, smriti vibramsha buddhi nasha pranashyati. So he, out of angry, he felt very bad, and there was a dead snake. He just lifted with his bow, the edge of the bow, and put it in the neck of the Shamika Muni. He went off. And this message was communicated to his son Shrungi. His name is Shrungi. He is a small boy, but he was very, very powerful boy. So when he came to that, one king came and he actually insulted his father. He immediately cursed him that within 7 days time from today, within 7 days, by 7th day, the king who has insulted my father will be dead by the snake bite of Takshaka. So small boy was so powerful to give a curse to such a personality. However, even Parikshit Maharaj also, after doing that mischief, he felt little bad. I am a devotee from beginning. I am a devoted person. How come that I have really insulted this great personality? He felt very, very bad. And he was thinking that there should be something, calamity should happen. I am expecting some great calamity. When I am doing some great Vaishnava aparadh, so I can be very sure that something great will happen. Something bad will happen, that is sure. When Vaishnavas, they get pleased, they bless us, we can be 100% sure that something great is going to happen. So in both ways it is possible. So, the Shrungi came back to the hermitage, and he saw that in father's neck, the dead snake was there. He started crying. Because of the crying of the boy, his meditation got disturbed, and the Shamika Muni came out from the trance. And he saw immediately first that something is hanging in his neck. He removed it and asked, what happened? And the son explained everything to his father. Then the king felt, and the Shamika Muni felt very, very bad, very, very sad. He said, you did a very, very dangerous thing, very bad thing. Because the king, he is thirsty, he is hungry, and he is like Vishnu. The king is like a Vishnu. So we should really serve him. We should really feel bad that we are not serving him. But on the contrary, you have cursed him in such a way that he should be dead. So it is totally bad. But he cannot do anything. The Brahmana Shapa is very, very powerful. But he said that let me at least inform the king so that he will make good preparation. So he immediately sent some message. He has sent some message to the king that, my dear king, be careful, in next 7 days you are going to die. So do whatever you want. Best thing what you can do. In that way, the moment the message came to him, the king became very, very happy. Oh my God, it's a good thing that because of the mischief, whatever I did, the good thing has happened. Now I am very, very happy that I am going to be dead. So he felt very happy, and he has put Janamejaya on the throne, and he went to banks of Ganges. He went to Ganges, and this message, and he has decided that I shall not eat, I shall not drink, and I shall not sleep. Till 7 days I will not sleep, I will not drink, I will not eat anything. I will just wait for the death. This is called Prayopavesha. He has declared that I am going to do Prayopavesha, I am not going to eat, I am not going to drink, I am not going to sleep. When he has declared like that, from the heaven the flowers fell. The Pushpa Vrishti, it has happened. Oh my God, such a great vow he has taken. So this message has gone to the entire universe, and there are so many, great rishis, munis came to that place. They want to see that how this Parikshit Maharaj is a great devotee, Mahabhagavata, how he is going to leave his body. Because not only his birth is great, his activity is great, must be his death also, his departure also must be great. So they were eager to see how he would really leave the body and go to Krishna. So when he was, all the people came, and at the time, by providence or by Krishna's arrangement, Shukadeva Goswami arrived at that place for the deliverance of that. So he came to that place. The moment Shukadeva Goswami came, Shukadeva Goswami was surrounded by so many children and also many ladies, because he was very, very beautiful. He was very, very attractive, and he was naked. He is in his avadhuta, and he's looking like Krishna in his color, so beautifully. And when the moment Shukadeva Goswami came to the place where all the Rishi Munis were sitting, the Rishi Munis included so many great people, and which includes even Vyasadeva, which includes even Narada Muni, which includes Suta Goswami, Parashurama. Like that, there are so many. Vishwamitra, there are so many great. All the Vaishnava, all the Munis, Rishis, they were sitting in that way wonderfully. At that time, Parikshit Maharaj offered him the topmost place, who can teach and who can preach. Because there should be a good place, a person to speak in front of even Shukadeva's Vyasadeva, Narada Munshi. So the personality should be a great personality. So he said that when Parikshit Maharaj has offered him the topmost place, everybody accepted. Because Parikshit Maharaj came to know that he is great personality, because the moment Shukadeva Goswami entered, even the Vyasadeva stood up, even Narada Muni stood up, everybody stood up. The moment if somebody is coming and everybody standing up, that shows that the person who came is great. So the moment everybody got up in that assembly, then he felt that Shukadeva Goswami is the topmost. So he immediately invited him and has given him a wonderful place to sit, and he offered him place, and he asked a wonderful question, that a person who is about to die, what should be his duty? Simple. What he should be doing, a person who is about to die. That is the fundamental, because he is in that condition, so that's why he asked what he should be doing. Then because with his question, the wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam started flowing from the wonderful lotus mouth of Shukadeva Goswami, and the story continued for 7 days. 7 days, day and night, and Parikshit Maharaj was not sleeping, Parikshit was not eating, Parikshit was not eat and drink anything, and Shukadeva Goswami is also same thing, and everybody was in complete immersed in Bhagavad Katha. So much so that at the end of that, Parikshit Maharaj surrendered to him and said, now I am completely free from fear. I have no fear that Taksha would come and kill. I don't care. He said that, please, Shukadeva Maharaj, please give me an opportunity that I would like to concentrate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Give me a chance, I wanted to go into meditation. So, and Shukadeva Goswami immediately blessed him. He said, Tathastu, you will be successful. He went out, and immediately Parikshit Maharaj went into meditation trance of meditating on Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. He has seen Krishna in the mother's womb itself in the beginning, and now at the time of death also he is meditating on Krishna. This is the wonderful Vaishnava life. This is called Mahabhagavata. He knows that the death is coming any moment, because 7 days are past. Any moment the death is in front of him, but still he is just thinking only about Krishna. That is called Mahabhagavata. He became so standstill that almost his breathing stopped. His breathing is already stopped. He has become like a tree, non-moving tree. He has become like a sthira, sthavara. His breathing got stopped, and because of all his activities, his sharira vritti, everything got stopped. Everything got frozen. It's almost like a dead, because he is already in the trance. So at that time, Takshaka started coming, and he saw in between one Kashyapa Muni was there. He was having a great medicines which can even counter the Takshaka's poison. But Takshaka ensured that the Kashyapa Muni is given lot of money, and he goes back, and then Kashyapa and the Takshaka came in the form of a Brahmin, so that nobody would take objection, nobody would stop him. So the Takshaka came in the form of Brahmin. He came very close to Parikshit Maharaj and immediately got into his snake bird, in the form of a snake bird, and he just immediately bit the Parikshit Maharaj. And the moment he struck Parikshit Maharaj, he burnt into ashes. The moment Parikshit Maharaj left his body in the greatest flames from the sky, all the demigods, they showered flowers. Oh, how great even his death is, so beautiful. So in that way, everybody were very happy to see that how Parikshit Maharaj till last moment was thinking about Krishna, and left to the heavenly to Goloka in the presence of devotees and the great Mahajana, that is Shukadeva Goswami. So here we can see so beautifully the story of Parikshit Maharaj, who is Mahabhagavata, that he has seen Krishna in the womb itself, so beautifully before birth. And when he was born, he used to play with dolls of Krishna, with the statues of Krishna. He used to play in his childhood, and at the end he was with Krishna in the form of Krishna Katha. So that is the beauty of that. And here we are so thankful to Parikshit Maharaj. Actually, if you look at Krishna Katha, there are two types of Krishna Katha. One is Krishna Katha told about Krishna, that is Bhagavatam, and another is Krishna Katha told by Krishna, that is Bhagavad Gita. So there are two types of Krishna Kathas. One is told by Krishna and told about Krishna. So very interestingly, in both the cases, the Pandavas are connected. For Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was connected, whereas for Bhagavatam, Arjuna's grandson was connected. In that way, we are so thankful, having great gratitude towards Parikshit Maharaj and Arjuna for giving us this wonderful Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we can take inspiration from Parikshit Maharaj, that we can get connected to Krishna through Srimad Bhagavatam, so that our transfer from this world to the spiritual world, Goloka, is 100% ensured. And also, while we are living here, we will always be protected. We all be surrendered by auspiciousness. So with this, I am concluding the first story, Parikshit Maharaj, the hero of Srimad Bhagavatam.